Now, Governor Daniel Malloy is about to give an update on the blizzard conditions striking our state.
News 8's chief Capitol correspondent Mark Davis is in Hartford right now. He has the very latest on the situation happening there. Hey, Mark.
One second. Just one second.
Hey, hi. The governor has arrived, so let's go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be with you. I just finished getting an update from state agencies, utility companies, and had an opportunity to speak with municipalities across the state. The state's Emergency Operations Center has been open since 5 a.m. Many cities and towns have also activated their EOCs. The current forecast calls for 5 to 10 inches in southeastern Connecticut, 12 to 24 inches across the central part of the state, and possibly even more in northwest corner of the state, especially at altitudes of 1,000 feet. The snowfall will be heavy at times between now and about 2 p.m., which will limit visibility greatly. The other major concern with this particular storm is that we are expecting wind gusts up to about 60 miles an hour. Yesterday, I implemented a statewide travel ban. By all accounts and review of TV coverage, state residents are complying with the request to stay off and the ban to stay off the roads, and I want to thank them for doing that. That will allow us to stay ahead of the snow and get back to normal more quickly than we might otherwise if cars got trapped on the highways. It's important that only essential travel be engaged in, so please continue to stay off the roads. We understand that there are some essential staff that must travel, like doctors, nurses, and public safety personnel. We remind everyone to take your time and be very careful. Let's make sure that if you are on the roads because your job requires it, that you arrive safely. The storm will bring very heavy snow, and it's the kind of snow you want to stay ahead of. And I want to emphasize this is on the heavier side, so be careful out there. Our full state fleet is deployed and currently clearing highways. The more that you can stay off the roads, the better we will do. We have about 634 of our own trucks and 250 contracted trucks on the roadways. If you're out there, it's harder for them to do their job. Metro North is wrapping up service as we speak, and the last train arriving at Grand Central will be at noon. Bus service has already been suspended across the state. Most flights have been canceled at Bradley for the day. The last flight that arrived was at 7 a.m. The runways are open and crews are working to keep them cleared, but planes are not being sent from destinations. The airlines, and by the way, check with your airline carrier as to whether your flight will be rearranged or when it might take off. The airlines are working to get some planes here overnight so that travel can begin most probably tomorrow, but you should do the checking yourselves. State police have recorded just 19 calls for service, only 6 accidents, thankfully none resulting in injuries or fatalities at this time. I think that's a demonstration of what happens when people stay off the roads, and we're very thankful for that. State police, along with Connecticut National Guard, have extra units to assist motorists that need to travel should there be incidences that arise. Utility companies are also prepared to respond to the storm as well. If you lose power and you decide to heat some other way using a generator or a grill, make sure that there's ample ventilation according to the instructions that are being used. Quite frankly, grills should not be used indoors under any circumstances. It's also important to clear exhaust fans. If we get the kind of snow that's been predicted, some low vents at houses, particularly for direct vent gas systems, could become clogged. So it's important that you check those to make sure that they are not clogged, and therefore you don't get it back up into the house. The vast majority of cities and towns have implemented a parking ban. If you have not already, please move your car off the street so they can plow your street, and we can get back to normal tomorrow. We also would like to remind folks that the state severe cold weather protocol is in place. If you need shelter, please call 211. There are 11 shelters operational in Connecticut at this time. Residents can find the latest update from the state on the storm at our Connecticut Gov site. Residents should try to keep ahead of snow, again, as well as, and do that as well as possible under the circumstances. Stay ahead of the snow, and it will be easier to affect that final cleanup that you all want to get done when the snow stops. With that, I'll take some questions.
Governor, I know you were on a conference call with
Tides don't, because of the wind direction, we're not expecting anything but minor flooding. New London around noontime, Bridgeport around 1:30. We're talking about something in the order of about 5.5 feet, which is really very minor for this kind of incident.
Governor, you mentioned the travel ban, and that's mostly 84 and 91 big highways. What about some of the state roads surrounding?
Travel ban is in place. Please don't be on the road unless you're an essential person. Obviously, the highways are our biggest concern because, and again, this is what we try to avoid. If cars get trapped on the highway and you get very heavy snows, and as of yesterday, we're predicting potential snowfalls of 6 inches an hour, that's when you end up having a parking lot, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
What about the other states? What are you hearing from them as far as the surrounding states?
There's a great differential in this storm depending on whether you're getting rain or whether you're getting snow and how much snow you're getting. So I've been watching, and in the EOC we have cameras from various locations. Philadelphia seems to have about 5 inches, which for Philadelphia is a lot of snow. We're used to handling a lot more snow here, and we haven't reached the snow levels that we can handle, you know, that would cause us problems. I think what will be telling now is what happens between the 9 o'clock hour and the 2 o'clock hour, and that will, I think, tell the rest of the story.
So just for clarification, a state road is any road with a number on it?
Yeah, well, you know, actually, even in my hometown of Stamford, we have state roads like High Ridge Road and Long Ridge Road don't have a number. But the point is, if you don't have to travel, don't be on the road. That allows everyone to safely do their job. I watched one shot of a car that slid off the road, and of course there's a Connecticut State Trooper assisting, but that person's in danger because he's assisting that situation, and I doubt that travel was necessary for that individual. Good day to make brownies is my point, or read a book. Okay.
Governor, you trained for this, even going back into the summer. You had mentioned you trained for something like this.
We train. I'm very proud of the system we've put in place since 2011. Obviously, we had a lot of experience. Lieutenant Governor and state police and all of us have worked on this. I think, quite frankly, we're better trained than we've ever been with respect to preparations. And I think part of that is people are responding. I don't close the roads too often, folks. I think 2013 was probably the last time. This is New England. We're used to handling snow. But when you get predictions of 18 to 30 inches with, potentially 4, 5, and 6 inch snowfalls in an hour, that's when you have to act. Because, again, I remember those pictures from the 70s. 95 turns into a parking lot. Everyone gets snowed in. It could take you days to dig out. Okay?
And there's also, since those storms in the early part of your first term, there's been generators put on the parkway in a lot of places.
We have generators. The phone system is in better shape. We have a lot of gas stations that have invested in generators so that they can continue to operate. Not all of them, but many of them. Yesterday when I was going out to DOT, I saw people lined up to fill up their tanks. Not a bad idea in a situation, but overall, the state is in much better shape to handle these kinds of events based on what we learned at Irene and the October snowstorm and Superstorm Sandy and the record snowfall of 2013. We've learned a lot. We try to learn from those experiences, and we built it into our protocols. Anything else? All right.
I will see you later in the day.
Yeah, we'll alert you. My staff will be in touch and work out a schedule with you all. I think what's after. They'll get that for you.
Early
All right.
afternoon, I think.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Governor. So, yeah, the governor suggesting everyone stay home and make brownies or read a book. As he said, and as of course Gil and the others have been saying, that the worst part of the storm is now till about 2 o'clock, and that's what is anticipated by his meteorologist and our meteorologists as well. I think we had already been reporting that Metro North will be toning down and suspending service as of noontime. There is no bus service. That's something I think that the state learned from the storm last month, where they tried to continue bus service and had to suspend it during the day. It was suspended first thing this morning. So we do anticipate that the governor will have another update, we believe it's going to be at 1 p.m. We'll have more details on that coming up. Live from the Emergency Operations Center at the State Armory in Hartford, Mark Davis, News 8.
Mark, thank you.